Welcome back, my dear students, for the second session of Marketing and Services Management. In this session, we are going to discuss approaches to the study of marketing, or we can call it as approaches of marketing. There are 8 approaches are there in the marketing. The first one is commodity approach. Here, commodity, or it is also called as goods approach. Under this commodity approach, we are going to study flow of commodity or journey of commodity from the producer to the final consumers. Here, the goods has to pass from producer or manufacturer to the consumers. And under this commodity approach, it not only includes the journey of goods from producer to the consumer, and it also includes what are the principles, means rules and regulations, what are the strategies, what are the techniques they need to follow at the time of flow of goods from producer to the consumer, that we are studying under the commodity approach. And the second one is functional approach. There are 3 types of functions are there in this approach. The first one is exchange function. This exchange function includes buying and selling. Exchange function means buying and selling of goods and services. And the second function is physical distribution function. This physical distribution function includes transportation and storage of goods and services. And the last function is auxiliary function. This auxiliary function includes standardization, grading, financing, risk taking, and marketing information. And the third approach is institutional approach. Here, these institutions are under institutional approach. We will discuss various institutions or agencies. These institutions are agencies that take part in the distribution of goods and services from producer to the final consumers. What are these institutions or what are these agencies? Agencies or institutions means producer, wholesaler, agents, brokers, retailers, warehousing, banking, insurance, etc. Okay, so in this institutional approach, we study various institutions that helps the flow of goods from producer to the final consumer. The next fourth one is decision making approach. Here, for each and every part of the management, decision making is very essential. Okay, for example, here if they want to produce the goods or to identify the needs of the customer, based on needs of the customer they should produce the goods. And how to sell the goods, what are the procedures they need to follow to sell the goods to the customer. For each and every stage of marketing, the manager has to take the decision. Okay, so that is called as decision making approach. Next, system approach. The fifth one is the system approach. Here, system approach means a set of interrelated components. System means a set of interrelated components. This marketing system consists of subsystem. What are the components that includes in the subsystem? Product, price, promotion and distribution. These four P's means product, price, promotion, place means at the in the place of distribution we can write place also. Okay, these four P's is dependent on one and another. That is, product is depends on the price, and the price depends upon the promotion, and the promotion depends upon the product price distribution. Okay, it depends upon other components. These subsystems continuously interact to achieve the goals of the marketing. And under this system approach, it takes all the information and inputs from the environment. How it takes the input from the environment or information from the environment? As we have discussed in the last session, in the case of marketing, first they have to take the information from the customer. What type of information? Here, what are the needs of the customer? Okay, so identifying and collecting the needs of the customer, that is the input required for the marketing. Okay, based on this input they are going to give the output in the form of goods and services. Next, economic approach. Here, in this economic approach, it includes the problems of demand, supply and price are going to study. Here, only three concepts we will study under the economic approach, that is demand, supply and price. For example, take the demand. If the demand keeps on increasing, it what effect on the price? If the demand increases, price will also increase. If there is no demand, means the price of the products will be decreased. And if the supply of goods is more in the market, if the supply is more, the price they need to decrease because there is no demand. Supply is more, so there is no demand, they have to decrease the price. And also the price. If the price of the goods is keep on increasing, the demand for the products will be decreasing. If the price is decreasing for the goods and services means the demand will increase. It is in the case of elasticity of demand. Okay, so in the case of elasticity of demand, if the price increases, demand decreases. If the price decreases, demand increases. And in the case of inelasticity of demand, if the price increases or decreases, the demand will remain same, constant. Okay, the next one is legal approach. Here, this legal approach focuses on the regulatory aspects of marketing, such affect the transfer of title in the legal way. In India also, there are some acts or there are some laws are there for the marketing. So, what are the laws is there for the marketing will be studied under the legal approach. For example, Sale of Goods Act. It is a law. So, we need to follow. We means the sellers has to follow the Sale of Goods Act at the time of selling the goods. Then another example, the Contract Act. There is a contract between the producers and the wholesalers, or the wholesalers and the retailers. At the time of preparing the contract, they have to follow the Contract Act rules and regulations. And one more example, Consumer Protection Act. Here, the consumers means all we are consumers. So, if there is any problem arises for the consumer, maybe for example, we have purchased one electronic equipment. If there is any damage is there at the time of purchasing the product, but we have not see the damage, so we can claim for that. There will be a warranty or guarantee for the product. If they won't agree for replacement of that product, means we have a right under the Consumer Protection Act. So all these laws, acts we will study under the legal approach. And the last approach is societal approach. In the societal approach, we will study the concept of C to C. C to C means consumer to consumer, means marketing starts with the consumer and marketing ends with the consumer. Thank you.